President Putin today accused the West of provoking his invasion of Ukraine as he addressed Russian soldiers on the annual Victory Day celebrations in Red Square. He insisted he'd made the move in defence of Russia's motherland as he tried to rally support for the war. The parade marks the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany back in 1945. But Britain's Defence Secretary said the president was mirroring the same fascism and tyranny they'd fought against. From Moscow, here's our political correspondent, Carl Dinnan.
Celebrating victory, still mired in conflict. For all the pomp, President Putin's Victory Day parade was notable for what was not here. There was less military hardware than in recent years. The chief of the general staff was mysteriously absent, and a flypast had to be cancelled because of the weather. President Putin himself had no new initiatives to announce, no new victory to proclaim, instead blaming NATO for the conflict.
Another punitive operation in Donbass, an invasion of our historic lands, including Crimea, was openly in the making. Kiev declared that it could attain nuclear weapons. The NATO bloc launched an active military build-up on the territories adjacent to us.
In London, the Defence Secretary was dismissive of that suggestion.
President Putin has made, a number of sort of fairy tale claims for months and years now. I mean, it's literally getting, well, if it wasn't so tragic, it would be amusing, but it isn't. Look, no one's planning to invade.
This parade is held to commemorate victory against Nazi Germany. But President Putin claimed again today that Russia's forces are also now fighting Nazis in Ukraine. This is a hugely important and popular national event here. Little wonder that Vladimir Putin uses Russia's past victories as a way to justify his current military adventurism. But even amongst this crowd, there are mixed feelings about that suggestion. He links World War II to Ukraine. Do you see any link there? Yes, of course there are links, he says. It looks very similar. I think no, says this woman, because it's a different time now. And in Kiev, it was rejected angrily by President Zelensky in his own address.
We are proud of our ancestors who, together with other nations in the anti-Hitler coalition, defeated Nazism. We will not allow anyone to annex this victory. We will not allow it to be appropriated.
History, too, is a weapon in this conflict.
Well, Carl is still in Moscow for us tonight. Carl, is it a surprise that President Putin had very little new to say in his speeches today?
Well, yes, I think so. For weeks now, Western intelligence officials have been anticipating some kind of an announcement today, but President Putin clearly didn't feel that he had a victory significant or credible enough to be able to announce. And if after 75 days of fighting against a weaker opponent, you don't have a significant or credible victory, then arguably you need to find some new ideas, but there didn't seem to be any of those either. And I think that could prove to be a problem for Russia. Just take equipment, for example. Although both sides in this conflict are losing equipment, Ukrainians are being replaced by the West. Arguably, they are better equipped now than when they started. Russia, by contrast, is thought to be having trouble replacing damaged equipment in the face of Western sanctions which are only getting tougher. So although President Putin argues that he has history on his side, I think he may ultimately find that time is against him.
Thanks very much, Carl. There was an angry reaction to the Victory Day parades in Warsaw today, where protesters threw red paint over Russia's ambassador to Poland. Sergei Andreev was confronted as he arrived at a cemetery in the capital to lay a wreath for Red Army soldiers who died during the Second World War. The protesters carried Ukrainian flags and chanted fascist and murderer at the ambassador, who was led away by police.